Be a dynamic duo.
Welcome to the Daisy Blue Fashion Variety Show. I am Nancy Blizzard, your host, and my guest today is Delmy Gooch from DGaray magazine here in Denver. Welcome to my show.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for having me on your show.
And I also have Brandan. Welcome to my show.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you. Do we shake hands?
Delmy, I understand you started your career as a photographer in California.
Yes,
Can
I
you
did.
tell me a little bit about how it started?
Well, you know what? It started back in 2009, and I was a teacher at one of the Kaplan colleges in Vista, California. And during that time, I was teaching a career strategies course. And part of the thing that we had to do as from teachers and students, we had to take an assessment, and it was called Strengths Quest. And the assessment definitely broke down, your strengths and everything that you're supposed to be doing as far as, career goes, based on your personality, based on everything that you are as a human being. And one thing that I've learned is that I was actually good in the arts, and I have not actually been doing arts for a long time since I was doing playing the Marine and going to school. And so then I figured, why not? This is the perfect opportunity to dive into that and explore that. And I did that along with all my students. And I encouraged them to take on a hobby, and together we were just going to explore what would happen after, you continue to pursue something that you were actually good at. Then I did. I picked up my Nikon D40 that someone actually bought me, and I took it to a photography shootout, which my friend was in charge of that, and I was hooked. I actually loved it. I loved the production. I loved how all the models came together. I loved how everybody creatively worked as a team, and nobody, acted like they were better than you just because of the fact that you were there for the first time. No, they were there actually to mentor and wanted you to learn, and I was motivated, and after that, just went there from there. Yes.
Oh my gosh, it really turned into quite a career for you because you started taking pictures for magazines in the fashion industry here in Denver.
Yes. So coming after living in San Diego, then I did relocate here, and I wanted to dabble and explore whatever I could, and I did. Fashion photography was something that's always called me. I love the production side of it, from the makeup to the hair to the wardrobe to location, the theme, everything, and just seeing it come to life. And that's what I wanted to learn. I wanted to grow in that, and I wanted to meet everybody that was extremely talented here in Denver, because there are so much talent here. So I'm lucky enough that was the place that I actually played with. It was Denver, Colorado.
And there is quite a bit of talent here. Models, designers, right? Photographers. It's just
Tons.
It's everything, right? It's just a conglomerate of so many people that are talented here.
Absolutely, and I feel like a lot of people don't see that. I was one of those people that didn't see that because I thought it was just California or New York and Milan and all those places. And then what can Denver offer? And there's Brandan. He's a prime example how amazing he is. And so I realized that, once you devote yourself to something that you love and you want to, it's our duty to bring it out. And that's what I felt here in Denver, that I've been exposed to so much talent. So I wanted to do something with it. I just didn't want to just sit on it and just watch something else happen with it.
And they're so passionate. People who do have the talent really are passionate about what they do, aren't they, here in Denver?
Absolutely. From my friend that's an MMA fighter to a few of my other friends I joined, they have gyms they own gyms, to models that have been doing that for 7 years, to designers that are trying to perfect that perfect design, to photographers that are trying to be the best in the lighting and composition, and they just definitely, they're all out there trying to create art, trying to create something that's unique and different. And I definitely feel like Denver is on the top. We just need to all come together and produce something that's worth preserving and worth repeating and doing. Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful. Tell me about how you started the magazine.
I had been shooting for several publications here in Denver, Colorado, and like we're talking about now, I've come across so many talented people, and they were just like, Delmy, I love your photography. I want to work with you. How can we get into this publication? How can we get our work noticed? And these are people that are doing great things in the community. These are people that are making a difference, changing lives. They're from becoming mentors in the community to actually taking action into issues that truly matter. So I was just like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing as a photographer. I want to capture that. I want the whole world to see their essence, to see what their purpose is in this world. And I did. I would ask, hey, can I showcase these people? And that's the challenge that I think I would have is that some people are just set in what they want to see in certain magazines, and it's the same thing. I feel like it was the same industry, same people, and I wanted to change that. I didn't want to just stick to one little thing. I didn't want to be just stuck in a box and everybody just told me this is the only thing that we can create right now. Let's expand the box.
Think about, well, what about all the other people that have all these talents? Can I showcase them? And they're like, no, we just want these people. Mm-hmm. We want it, and that was hard for you, wasn't it? It's difficult because you wanted to showcase many people, and you wanted to show everyone, wow, all these people have talent, and they've got something. They're all unique and different, and you wanted to show them off.
Absolutely, I feel that I'm unique. I'm different, and I'm not like everybody else, and I feel like everybody else is just as unique. And if we take the time to actually look within them and ask the right questions, what are you passionate about? What are your talents? What would you like to see, have done in this world? And then everybody will come up with something completely different. And I feel like if you take the time to actually listen, then we can, produce something even greater. And everybody just wants to keep you in the little bubble. And I'm all about, let's just expand and continue to expand and show definitely Denver has way more than we think we do, and not allow ourselves to conform. And that's the thing is like a lot of people in the industry want to conform to the way they see certain things, their vision, their art. And art represents many things. Okay, so imagine if we just stuck to the same thing that Picasso did. That was the only form of art that was out there. We're missing out on all that art. Van Gogh. Think about all the great artists out there in the world. Everybody that be impacted. So here in Denver, we can do that, and then continue on to the big, cities and the big countries. Absolutely.
I love that analogy, because that's right. If you went into the Denver Art Museum and all you saw was Picasso, I mean, we love Picasso, but don't we want to see other things as well, right? We want to see a little bit of everything. We want to be exposed to a lot.
Yes.
And your magazine seems to do that. It exposes to a lot of different forms of art.
Right, and it's not something that's just like the norm. Yeah. I don't think there's such thing as a norm. And so when I definitely look into the magazine, you go through it, individually, and you realize it is not the norm. It's not always has to be the 6-foot model in there. It doesn't have to be, the same musician, type of look that we always go for that, So that's exactly, I want people to feel inspired. If I can just one person that's inspired with the magazine, I feel that the mission's accomplished. And that's the whole thing. I want people to feel connected to somehow to this. On the front cover, we have a female MMA fighter. Her name is Rader, and she is from Broomfield, Colorado. The reason why I selected her on the cover, she signifies empowerment, independence, and the ability for anybody to go out there and get what they want. I know there's certain stereotypes out there that it limits women or limits gender, any other thing. So this just represents what all we can achieve. And when you produce something that connects to people, I mean, it's, oh my God, think about the possibilities of where it can be, where it can go.
Oh, it's wonderful. When did you start the magazine?
It's actually April 2015, and it was just more, I started with the name, and that's how it all began. And I was ready, and I felt like everything aligned at that moment. I felt I was done giving my talent away to other people. I feel like if you freely give your talent away, people don't appreciate or value what you can produce. So at that moment, I'm like, done, okay? From now on, everything that I'm gonna do and create, it's something that I feel I'm passionate about. Something that I can change and mold into what I wanna. And I don't know where it's gonna go. I mean, I'm taking the steps towards that and open to the possibilities of getting it bigger, meeting all kinds of people, and creating something that's going to continue to grow and live on, even after it's done. So, which I don't, it's not getting done right now.
And you took a big leap. I mean, to go into publishing, that's a huge leap. To go to publish a magazine that's a big step. That's a big step. You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you.
You know what I really like about the magazine is it's a good size. I like the size of it. So the pictures are just vibrant, and it's just very, very big. I like it.
Thank you. The reason why I selected this is because I've always appreciated print. As a photographer, we want to see our work. We want to touch our work. And especially today, in today's digital world,
yes,
everybody thinks that everything's just in a little iPad or anything like that. No, I love to see it. I want to touch it. I want to feel it. And I also want people to appreciate the art you're printing. It's just like, I feel it's a fine art. And here it is, you have an 11 by 14 and a half magazine, and I want to put it on my coffee table. It's not something that you just throw away. It's something that you want to hold, you want to constantly go back to it. It's definitely a work of art. And when I look into everything, everybody in here is a work of art. So that's why, for me, it's important that it looks great in printing. And I want people to realize that that's where we begin, especially with magazines. We begin holding a Vogue, we begin holding a W magazine. We want it, it's real. And so I don't want to get into the point where we create something and it's no longer there. I want to feel it.
Because art
Experience it.
When you look at art, every time you look at it, you get a different emotion. It provokes emotion. It provokes something inside. You can't necessarily put your finger on what it is, but that's what art does for us. And that's what your magazine does. When you look at a picture, you're like, what you looked at maybe yesterday and what you look at today, it might be you might get something different from it, don't you think?
Absolutely. And I'm looking at every little detail. And I'm looking at how the photographer was able to share a story. And it's like from here at the beginning here, okay? So it's beautiful how it all came together, from the costume, the jewelry, the makeup, and that's what I'm looking when I'm flipping the first pages. I'm like, wow, I'm already drawn into it, because it shows the talent behind that photographer. It shows the talent in these models and how everybody came together and produced that. That's art. So it's not something that just someone just came around and snapped a photo. No, they thought about it. They thought about what will look great behind, that costume. What kind of, room, the lighting, the makeup color, everything. So for me, that's art. It takes time. You just can't produce something like that in 5 minutes. No, it's a process. A process that you see delivered on paper, on print. Yes.
People probably don't even realize how much work goes into just something like that picture here. They got the lighting just the way they wanted it on the faces. They wanted that exactly that way, precisely.
Yes, absolutely. And to me, that I've been a photographer for a long time, as a fashion photographer, creative photographer, I can see that. I can see all the work that has gone into it, because everybody that is it's an expert in their field, I can see all shining through that. The jewelry, the perfect. I mean, the costume designer came and selected all these jewelry just to fit a certain theme, and that was the royal issue. And so I feel like, yeah, I'm going through, I'm like, yeah, that was a royal. They all look royal. The gold was met, and it is beautiful. It's captivating. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, and I just like the way you let your staff create, and you let them bring ideas to you, don't you? You say, I have an idea, and they come to you and they bring this idea, and you allow them to express themselves.
Absolutely. The reason is because they're artists. You can't limit them. And if you give them that freedom, then they're thinking like in many ways creatively outside of that box. And I do appreciate someone that gives me that freedom as an artist. Doesn't, put me here. Okay, don't say, hey, you can produce this and then that's it, you're capped out of here. No, I think it's important, and that's how it becomes even better, everything that you produce. That's why I feel like the next issue, Timeless Beauty, which people haven't seen yet, oh my God, is like a step up from this one. But this one is, so special because it's the first. But that's exactly what's going to happen with every issue. Everybody's going to be stepping it up because they have that freedom. As long as they understand what that vision is, then they can just run with it.
Isn't that wonderful? I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so great.
And Brandan is one of those. So DGaray magazine is about spotlighting talent and artists in the community. And one person I did bring is our Brandan Radar. He's a model, and he's definitely an innovator, and he's been doing a lot in the fashion community. So I brought him here because he has a lot of fashion style, and I want him to showcase what he is wearing today, and to actually elaborate it and what you can do when you find your fashion style. And that's what he's been doing as a branding and fashion consultant.
Hi, my name is Brandan Radar. I am a model and lifestyle consultant. Lifestyle consultant is just a fun word for a novel branch of image consulting. I've been in the modeling industry for about 16 years. I've worked with big and small professionals in the industry, and working with Delmy was an exhilarating experience. The magazine provides an amazing outlet for talent to not only showcase their individuality, but kind of take things to the next echelon. And I think that's really important, especially here in the Denver community, to have this medium, to be able to communicate our authenticity and individuality, unrestrained and uninhibited by societal expectations. My personal style that I like to model is what I call androgyny. It is the expression of gender in the middle of the gender continuum. I try not to restrict myself to dressing feminine or dressing masculine, and I feel like this ensemble kind of exhibits that perfectly. I have the nice form-fitting pants, the mid-calf boots, which is typically worn by females, and then I have the ascot with a nice paisley pattern, and my vest, it's going for more of like a regal pirate look. I have a nice leather tank top underneath.
Nice.
Yes, so underneath I'm wearing a leather tank top. It's breathable though. It's a pseudo leather, faux leather, vegan leather. Yeah, vegan leather is the new term instead of pleather. I like to have a little bit of length and try not to be restricted to shorter haircuts traditionally worn by males. But again, the goal is not to try to look feminine either. It's just to pick aspects of fashion and aesthetics that allow me to communicate myself and make a statement of gender equality. In the Timeless Beauty edition, which is the up-and-coming edition, we did a whole editorial based on lace ensemble, specifically lace unitards that would traditionally be worn by women. But as I was explaining to Delmy in our first meeting that, I don't understand why lace should be ascribed to feminine aesthetics or fashion. A man can wear lace and look damn good doing it. I think that fashion is a method of communication, And when we're restricted by societal expectations or norms, even when you go into the fashion industry, we're so restricted by, oh, let's try to have like a mountain look, or let's have a commercial look, or let's have like the boy next door look or the girl next door look. It really just kind of quells that ability to express yourself, and it really does marginalize a lot of artists who have a lot of talent to showcase. So it's amazing that Delmy gave me and so many other artists the opportunity to communicate our style and our individuality.
Because there's so many things that we have to do, right? Think of all the things that we have to do, and why should fashion be an art, be something that we can express ourselves with, right?
Exactly, yes. Even within my lifestyle consulting business, I talk about how there seems to be this separation in our society of who we want to be, who we're expected to be, and who we need to be. And who we need to be is ourself. And so when I'm working with my clients, I talk about how you can just kind of combine all aspects of your personality to find that authenticity. And I discovered that a lot through my modeling experience and opportunities to work with people like Delmy, who made me realize that I don't have to act a certain way and I don't need to be a certain way, that I can be myself, be accepted, and that's beautiful.
I feel like if you're been stuck in that, bubble, like we talked about earlier, the box, there's going to be certain, shoots are going to challenge your thought, your values, and how you see certain things. And it's okay. That's perfectly okay, because art is not supposed to be something that, responds to everybody or connects to everybody. No, it's just something outside of it itself.
That's right, because some people are going to like it and some people aren't, and that's okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a model, you're supposed to represent the brand of the company or the clothing line or the designer, which makes sense. You're supposed to model. And so for me, I grew up and I tried to embody everyone else's brand and tried to be a good model.
Mm-hmm.
But as I got older, I just couldn't reconcile with the idea of smothering an aspect of my personality, particularly saying that I should cut my hair a certain way, or that I had to act a certain way, or that I should speak a certain way. And so now, having the opportunity to model authenticity, I found a whole new love for it. And I love being able to just communicate the idea of androgyny and gender equality through modeling.
And what Brandon's doing is giving other people the opportunity to stand up for what they believe and have that courage to face who they are and be okay and not have to feel the the lashings of what other people are thinking or wanting to mold you into. And he's truly an inspiration to a lot of men and women that both want to find that niche. And it's okay. You don't have to be here. You don't have to be there. Or like you said, you can be right in the middle, whatever you want to be. We're looking to take it to other cities. So we started here in Denver. And like in Timeless Beauty, we have artists from Chicago. They're in the magazine. We have artists from San Diego. So we're not just exclusive to Denver, but we're bringing out everything that Denver has here to produce this and launch it and continue to expand from different cities. And so DGaray is definitely an international magazine that was born here in Denver.
And I mean, my advice for any models who are interested in pursuing being part of DGaray magazine is to think about what you're passionate about. Think about what you want to communicate, not only to the community, but to your fellow models, to your fellow industry members, and put the vision together. Figure out how to make it concrete. Make it a reality. Don't just wait for a casting call to get the job. Don't just wait for a designer to call you and say, I want you to model my stuff. Be proactive. Call them yourself. Come up with the vision and put it together. If I have a vision, I look for those industry members. I seek them out and I try to create it. And contact Delmy. Just tell her your vision, share it, and if it's something you're actually passionate about, then she's going to make it a reality.
Thank you for watching the Daisy Blue Fashion Variety Show here at Denver Open Media. It has been my pleasure to have Delmy Gooch and Brandan on my show. Thank you and have a wonderful day.